If you're one of those who watched Nickleby all this week, we sure hoped you liked it as much as we like bringing it to you. And maybe that story by Dickens made you think about something filled with some irony. When you stop and think about it, our city today, in a way, isn't really that much different than London was when Dickens was alive. Think about it. And listen to this report from John David Klein.
How much does an original copy of Nicholas Nickleby cost? An original first edition? At the Strand bookstore, it's $175. This is a bargain because it is not a perfect copy.
Well, it was originally published in monthly parts. Dickens would write a chapter at a time, and as he wrote the chapter, it would be printed and issued like a pamphlet.
Sort of like the first paperbacks?
They were like the first paperbacks, right.
What kind of world was he writing about?
He was writing about a very diverse world, a world that had the extremes of poverty and gentility in it.
London in Dickens' time in the 1830s was a city of rich and poor, and if any city in the United States has those same extremes, it is New York.
Well, baby, 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 you're out of time.
Rich, we are probably the richest city in the world. More art galleries and restaurants and multi-billion-dollar businesses and big bucks. There are close to 140,000 New Yorkers who make more than $75,000 a year. But there is another side to the New York City coin. In the past 10 years, more than 10% of the white population has left this city. We are almost a city of 50% minority now, and more middle class are leaving the city. Approximately 1/3 of all the families in this city are headed by single women, no fathers. And in terms of the aged, we have more over 65 than most cities. Yes, we've made lots of strides in terms of technology and medicine, and we're a lot luckier than they were in London in the 1830s, but we have problems they never even dreamed of. We have heroin, and we have cocaine, and we have marijuana. A billion-dollar drug industry lives in this city, entertaining some and destroying others. Being hooked is a way of life in the ghetto. So we have drugs, and we have one more thing they didn't have in abundance in Dickens' time.
They had no guns in London. In Dickens' time, here in the 1980s, you have Browning 9mm. We had 13-year-olds on murders. We've had 7-year-olds as part of homicides. We have 1,800 murders in this city in a year. I don't know how many people we have wounded. Most of the ones that are shot and wounded are young. Young people get killed in this city. That's the #1 cause of death in a ghetto, is a gun, murder.
The time of Charles Dickens, 150 years ago, but still today, the poverty, the brutality, the disrespect for human life, it exists here, in some ways more terribly than in the time of Charles Dickens. And I'm John David Klein, Channel 5 News.